Hi, this is Matthew. Just wanted to briefly talk about a series that sounds interesting to me. Anyway, a detective historical mystery series called Shardlake. That's his last name, Matthew Shardlake. He's got my name. It's in the 1500s during the Tudor era of King Henry VIII and other people like that. He's a detective. He solves crimes with help of a lawyer and some other people to solve crimes, but also to not get in the way of the religious stuff going on in this time period, which there was a lot of that going on. There are 7 books. The author has died. There are no more books, obviously, since he is gone. He wrote other books besides these. One in World War II sounds interesting. I might have to go and find. I kept seeing these that come up in like the Canadian Library. I think they had a book or two, and I realized there were some BBC dramas that they also have, as well the UK stuff has. That sounded kind of interesting, and I realized that there were books. So it kind of intrigues me. I might probably I might hear the dramas first. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll read the books or hear the dramas first. I know they dramatized. BBC did 6 of the 7, I believe. I don't think the 7th has been done that I know of or can find. The books, though, all have one-word names, which is interesting. We have Disillusion from 2003. Darkfire in 2004, Sovereign in 2006, Revelation in 2008, Hearthstone in 2010, and then Lamentation in 2014, Tombland in 2018. Those are the books that he has written. Let me get his name again. It is by C.J. S-A-N-S-O-M, Sansom, I believe. Sansom, I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows the right pronunciation of his last name, let me know. And what in the world does CJ stand for, I wonder? Look at the Wikipedia page. I wonder if I click this, let me see if it will tell me what his first name is, what the CJ stands for. Let me go look. Kind of curious what that... I assume it's a guy. I could be wrong. Let me go and double check that. I was in Edinburgh, Scotland. He in 52, so he would have been the age of my dad had he lived. And he died... Oh, good grief, he died last year, April 27th of 24, near Brighton in the UK. Oh, he's a lawyer, too, as well as a writer. Okay. Christopher John Sansom. Okay, Christopher John. That's what CJ stands for. So apparently he did practice law. Very interesting. This character, he's I don't know if this is the right term anymore, but hunchback, which that would have been okay in the 1500s, so that's what I'm going to use. That's because it is a historical novel with probably terms and things from the time, so they call him hunchback in all of the descriptions here, so which would be kind of an unusual thing to someone to get around places with. Probably a lot of things attached to that kind of a condition, and people not, being people and being nasty and mean and rude and insult you and stuff. Who knows what this character has to deal with. I hope I'll find out, because I guess that's what it basically would be, a disability, yes, I suppose, since your back isn't quite straight or whatever. I don't know. It sounds interesting, and I think I'll give it a look. Yeah. all the audiobooks are available. They've all been put in audio. I guess this 7th drama isn't. I don't know if I can find out really quick while I'm just searching here. Let's see if I can just let's make sure there isn't one before I say that there isn't. Yeah, they do the 6. Yeah, I know 6 got done. I forget which novels got. Let me take a look for it's the Audible list, but that will do. But anywhere that has BBC and audiobooks will have these books here. Let's see if I can get the dramas. Come on, give me the description of the book here. I want you to buy other stuff. Come on, Audible. Give me what's included here. Oh, come on. Hang on. I hate when. Oh. Oh, no, that's fine. I'll say Audible. Yeah, I don't want to be Audible UK. No. I do not. I just want to know what's included. Well, I know I can go to. I know Libra.fm has the list. Let me go over there. Hold on. I do have a thing there. I highly recommend Libra.fm because they are really cool. Audible's great too, but they have a lot of exclusive things that you can't get elsewhere. Libra.fm partners with independent bookstores, so you get anything you buy will go to a local place and not some big company like Audible is. And there are several bookshops around here. Locally, I picked Bookmarks because that's where a friend of mine went through on hers, and I didn't know any of the names of the places, so I went with them. And it was really funny. I went to a Route 66 event downtown here in Springfield, and I went by that exact place, and I had recently set up an account there with, I chose them as my bookstore. That may vary on what you have where you are because you can put in your zip code, and it will tell you what things are around you. I think you could maybe pick, like you can search for one too. I can't remember right now. Let me go see which books were dramatized really quick. Oops, where is it? Where'd you go? Oh, come on. Because they have all of the dramas, the complete set, and then they have all the audiobooks. So I have to find the right thing here, as I do it all. It's like live TV, but it's not. Where'd it go? It is. Hang on. But there's some book sale going on they want me to look at, and I'm trying to get around the ad about that. Well, here we go. Yes, Shardlake, the complete BBC radio collection has. Let me go check real quick. I forget which ones they are using. I know some different actors at different times. We have. Okay. Where's my summary here? It is. Yeah, they call him a hunchbacked lawyer. Okay, Dissolution was done, the first book. Then Dark Fire, Sovereign, Revelation, Hearthstone, then Lamentation. Yeah. So no, they did not do 7. So I'm not aware that Tombland has been done, the 7th book, which is kind of weird because you'd think they would have just, hey, let's go do the last one. I don't know where I find out if there's even plans to do it, because that collection was out in 22, and obviously they were before then, so I don't really know. I'm kind of intrigued, to know if there's a BBC Sounds page. Can I see? Oh, hold on. Let me check the BBC Sounds page really quick, if I can even look at that anymore, since they wanted to redirect me to other things now. Oh, it just takes me to the BBC audio page. That's annoying. Okay, I can't look there. I don't want to VPN into the UK just to look for that. But it doesn't seem like they have done it, which is kind of sad. And I don't know if they're like multiple parts. I'm not sure. Because the UK Caliber Library, they have them where that's a streaming library. I heard a little bit of one of them, I think Dissolution, but I was kind of sleepy. But I managed to find them through Libro, and I will probably listen to them that way. And I don't have to turn it in after like 21 days or whatever it is that they have over in that library. But yeah, it looks like a very interesting series. I do like history and stuff. It should be interesting, and mysteries. So I think it'll be right up my alley. But just wanted to kind of mention it. Shardlake is spelled Shardlake, like Shard Lake. Well, all one word. So it should be interesting. Actually, no, I guess the tutor, that would have been, I don't know, England and France were kind of intertwined back then, but as to who was what nationality. But I believe it's in England. Though I know there was a lot of German and French people in the royal family then, and who were married into it or became part of it. Even some Dutch stuff going on. It's very complicated. I'm not a royal person. I don't know all of the ins and outs of all that. Would probably take days to even, if someone could explain it to me. There is a Churchill book, The History of the English-Speaking Peoples, he wrote. He goes basically the founding of that country all the way through World War II. That's a 4-volume set. It is in audio various places. I know it's on Audible and other places. Some blind libraries have read it. I know, if you can get into it. Where'd you go? Learning Ally. There it is. They have it there, all 4 volumes. I think there's is there like an abridged version that was from tape, I think. I don't know if there's a complete set of that series, but it would talk about all of that stuff at some point in there. I need to read that. I did find it on Libro, and the reader sounds okay, so I might have to read that at some point. I don't know where. I don't think I can check it out anywhere, but there was a series of Sceptred Isle the BBC had, where they took a lot of passages from those books, as well as talked about the events of British history, which I wish I could find, and I've only heard parts of it. But it was very interesting. I kind of caught it midway somewhere. There was a podcast called Breakfast with the Brits, and they had talked about he was playing that, but he has had a baby and is married, and who knows if there'll ever be any more episodes. He has a very happy family life and work, and I don't know if he'll ever come back from that, but yeah, that would talk all about this kind of stuff I'm trying to talk about, probably in greater detail in those books. I don't remember what book that is. Like one or two, probably. Maybe, I don't know if three would have. Three might be two. One and two, I think, would be the more likely, maybe more like two. I've not talked about that series, but therefore, yeah, he wrote a lot of historical books about things. Did Winston Churchill, of course. He was a prime minister and all kinds of things in his life. But yeah, that's the Shardlake series by C.J. Sansom, I believe. 7 books, 6 have been dramatized by the BBC that I know of. I don't know if 7 will get done. I don't know even where I would even ask that question to them to see if that was even in the works at some point. But you would hope that whoever did that would be like, hey, I wonder if we can do the 7th. So maybe it will be on at some point down the road, or maybe it's being worked on. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anyone at the BBC to ask, or where I would even email or anything. But that's that. Shardlake, C.J. Sansom, sounds interesting. I think I'll give it a look at some point. I don't know when. I guess when the mood strikes me. I don't know. Lots of other book series at different times and book club books, so I don't know. I'm not in a book club now where I can pick books. It's a group collective, and the one is like they decide by number generator. And the other book is a person I know from a church, and she's helping lead it, but she picks the books. But that's more feel good, whereas this other book club is disability related books. I don't know if this would count. Maybe it would count. I don't know where everybody would get the book, though, because it's not on Bard. I don't believe any of his books are. I'll have to look. I think I did. I didn't find it. But I think everybody has Audible. I just got Audible. But also this Libro.fm, where I was looking, is a place I like to go first and look, and then see who has it either place, and then figure out where I want to get it from. But they are available, I think, on both. Anywhere you have audiobooks should have all of these and the BBC dramas, either separately or the complete set or all versions. So you might check that out if you want it that way. I know the RNAB in the UK has most of them that you can download, at least. I don't know if they have. I think one book was missing. Maybe the 7th book isn't there, but perhaps you can use some other service to listen to them from the RNAB, or get a CD version sent to you. They don't have anything other than the UK, Isle of Man, and Channel Islands, I want to say. Maybe it's just Jersey. Either way, I can't. I have no way to get around that particular thing. So even if I wanted all of them from there, I can only get, I think, at most 4 or 5 out of the 7. I don't think I have all of them, at least to download from their library. Calibre I know has the BBC one. Listening Books is through Libby. But you might check your local library too, see if they have the books or these dramas. I forget. I think they might be available on Libby too. I'll have to look. But he might be we did do a book about a blind detective in England around the same time period, 1700s. But I need to read all those, because that was a pretty cool series, or a pretty cool book, and I've got all the other ones from Bard of it. But it might count. I might ask about that to them. But I just wanted to talk about this briefly, and just to make sure, see if people were aware of it, if they had an interest in it like I do. So I will see you guys in another video.